"Don't lie to me," he says, scolding the mirror. "I don't look like that." Hands outstretched, choking his reflection until its blushing cracks. Now that's more like it. He believes in beauty only in its purest form. Wild hedges, sunlight, and women with no coatings. Insecurity is the absence of applause after a cell splits. It is a lack of praise for the perfect choreography happening within, which makes one human. He is a chair in an empty theater, afraid to clap for his own blood. At birth, his mother let the sky name him wanderer, after wind, tide, and moon. To know no bounds or restraints is an asylum of its own, and he is resident of limitless and vagrancy. Scars remind the skin of reality. He cannot recall a time when he felt whole. Reason he fills his hollows with alloys to occupy space, but steel bends. Barrel to head will make the atheist pray. He has relieved Atlas. Place your burdens on his fragmented shoulders. He says, "You cannot break what's already broken. I'm okay being sacrificed." He is martyred. He is paced in screws for the world and not his body. He has two eyes, settled and comfortable with everyone's happiness. He is a china cabinet's religion after its breaking. He is a morgue for living things. He is broke. He is fixable. He is tool only if heart surrenders to truth. So I'm going to read a few more, and then I'll actually perform some of the poems in the book. So this next one is called "Who Broke You?" The ghetto. Its gunshot hymnals, withered grass coated in morning's cold syringes, mothers, nails to neck scratching, yesterday's caution tape, stale Dutch wedged in back pocket, weed smoke pollutant, liquor store within 3-block radius of check cashing place, mailman's empty hands on the first, a street light sin in a dark alley while a daughter takes a shortcut home, a broken home, no hot water, palms pressed against stove during winter's gaze, chuckle after "Do you accept food stamps?" Black ankles shackled to black top windmills, flower girl sprinkling gunpowder, brother's court hearing, mailman's empty hands on the 15th, candlelight vigil around infant's chalk outline, road trip in hearse, the siren's echo, the siren's echo. And a lot of these poems are just me experimenting with several forms of poetry and several ways to go about writing and different topics. So I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the word correctly, but I believe it's philomath, and I came across this particular word. I was reading, I forgot what book I was reading, but I was reading and I researched it, and basically it's someone who just loves learning, a lover of knowledge. So the book is entitled "Philomath Says No to a Book." The poem is entitled "Philomath Says No to a Book," rather. The greatest of thinkers are the least social. Logic with no tongue for manifestation. Einstein adopted children because he was unable to calculate the formula for lovemaking. His wife's nakedness, profession rather pleasure. A conundrum this orator of numbers could not solve. Rumor has it that when discussing astrological findings, Sir Isaac Newton wept in a spectrum of colors. He realized each star had a mate to become constellation, but there is no mistress for scholars of proportion. Foolish is the one waiting for a chariot in fields of contemplation. He who attempts to uncover the physics of a kiss is dust to a bookshelf. There is lesson in the embrace that gives need to question gravity's birthright. Philosophy trickles down bloodlines, yet love is not inherited. It is not a gesture for understanding. Unless one understands the heart, its aches and mirth, how it shatters, refracting light, symbol of thought. However, it is not conceived. One cannot study love, a theoretical state of being, citizen of imagination. Even when the brain is asleep, thoughts wander. Too is true of love, and hate it persists. Emotion is more than the static of nerve endings. It is this body assuring another that it is here for the long run. It is a chest whispering, I won't desert you. How genius can one be if they fail to realize that the mind too turns to ash? Death allows no carry-ons. If there is movement in the stillest of states, when the limbs stop responding, the heart continues beating some moments after. This is not theory, but law, that love lives on. So I'll perform a few pieces and then go back to reading. This next poem, it's found in the book. Most of the poems I'll perform are actually found in the book. They're just different, maybe different titles or different excerpts. So this poem is called First Dates. She was never brimstone curled in fetal position. He, neither Romeo singing the rust off a park swing, burnt rice, and wormwood wedding vows. My mother is miles from submissive. Seductive maverick in her own right, she could sweet talk the wandering bullet back into its barrel. My stepfather is a large man, bullhorn stubble, shaving the cowbells from his chin, steering wheel kind of faith, used to drive buses from New York City to out there. I'd like to think that's how they met. She running away from herself, he a one-way ticket to nowhere, a love story scribbled in chicken scratch cursive, but I will be reluctant to tell my children the truth. It will roll off the tongue in a low whimper, like the first shovel of dirt into a grave. I will tell them. Grandma and Grandpa's eyes danced one dusty afternoon in Harlem. He saw her sitting on a milk crate with a dollar rolled into a skinny funnel. Asked, do you need an extra set of nostrils to finish that? She smiled. The rest was history. Whoa. This poem is one of the last poems that actually made it into the book. I felt it was necessary for me to write a poem about why I do what I do, of why I seek refuge in writing. So this poem is called Can I Live Here? Peace is a wishbone snapping to a free verse of metal. When heart could find none in this dimly lit chest cavity, it sought out an alternative dwelling place. My notebook was never meant to be a meat cleaver. Just a bucket of pocket watches I'd soak my feet in after long hours of dreaming. Stumble home, fatigue carving itself into a yawn. I'd maneuver my body into a rocking chair's maple wood teeth and dizzy ship anchor myself into nostalgia. It was to be house built from memories. A dining room of butchered palms, left juggling knives and forks, a family of risk, desperately trying to slice yesterday into smaller pieces, easier to chew and forget. When heart skipped out on body, it left its pulse, wanted no remnants of oppression, leave the beating behind, page, teach dead things stillness and revival. Here, in this home designed by quills, I am fistfights against demons. Heart found more than mattress, found sanctuary between margins. It worships walls that have sworn not to crumble.